sea, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Portland Expo and Freeport's Educational Channel 14's coverage of Freeport Tournament Basketball. Hello everybody, I'm Jay Harper along with Natalie Norton doing the camera this afternoon as we get the starting lineup for the Falcons and the Wells Warriors. Ethan Sklar first out for Freeport, and number 2, Christian Saunier for Wells. Toby Holt, the junior leading scorer for the Falcons, averaging 15.8 points per game, had 26 in the win over Lisbon the other night. Just a terrific performance. And starting on the other side, Matt Sherburne. He's a 5'10 junior. Didn't play a lot when Freeport played Wells a couple of weeks ago near the end of the season, and he was in foul trouble. Coach Ridge of Freeport thinking this will be a different game. Then Erickson Shea for the Falcons. He's really the spark plug. And number 10, Dylan Whitney for the Wells Warriors. And then their big senior, Cameron Cousins, number 32. And the Falcons will start Nate Thomas and Colby Sawyer, the 2 seniors. Troy Brown, the coach of Wells. Bill Ridge, as we said, the coach of the Falcons. He's been coaching for 3 years now, and he's gone from 3 wins to 5 wins now. The Falcons 11-8 after the prelim win over Lisbon as we get set for tournament action here from the Expo. Not as large a contingent as I thought there might be today, but a good crowd on hand, and Freeport fans are down to our right and across the way, Wells, and some Great New Gloucester fans hanging around to see who may play next, as they won just a little while ago. It'll be Cousins to jump for Wells. Decided size advantage over Nate Thomas. And again, the last time these 2 teams played, Freeport played very well and won 52-37 down at Wells. And they're the 8 seed. They're taking on the 1. Wells came in the 1 seed here in Class B South. We're underway. Falcons in their matchup zone. And right away, little patience. They try to go inside, and they call a blocking foul. I believe it's on Bridges. And Freeport gets a quick turnover. Just underway here from Portland. Sklar will bring it up. Wells goes man-to-man in their defense. Sklar looks over for Shea. Erickson Shea, leading assist, second leading scorer. He had 19 against Lisbon in the playoffs. Toby Holt, their scoring leader. Shea has one teed up, comes up short. Rebound taken down by Cousins. Sherburne, number 4, good outside shooter. Loses it out of bounds though. He had a tough outing last time against the Falcons. Both teams a little nervous here, looks like, as we start this. I think both teams would like a faster pace. So far, very slow, methodical pace. Shea pulls up, goes inside for Thomas, stolen by Sherburne. And he'll bring back, gets it up the floor, nice pass in the lane, and that'll be a foul on the Falcons. And that'll send Tyler Bridge to the line, the 6'3 junior. He'll get a couple of free throws. First free throw, no good. Second good, 1-0 with 6:49 to play in the opening quarter. Sklar on top. Goes for Shea. Wide open three. Got it! Falcons jump up 3-1. They come with their three-quarter court zone pressure. They gave Wells a lot of trouble with this zone defense down at Wells. Wells able to break it this time. They go into Cousins. He's the big tough guy, and he powers up for two. We're tied at 3. Freeport being patient on offense. They go down for Holt. Holt got that good jump shot. Doesn't have it there. Tipped. Almost taken. They say last touch by Erickson Shea. Turnover for Wells. Again, the zone three-quarter court pressure. Long up pass. They get it back to Bridges. He pounds in. Offensive foul. Ethan Sklar takes the big charge. Excellent defensive play by the senior, Sklar. Wells stays in the man-to-man. Sklar drives the paint. Had a good look, decides to kick it off. Colby Wagner drives in, goes for Holt. Holt pull-up jumper, rattles in and out. Still tied at 3. Again, the 8 seed versus the 1. This Class B South, very balanced this year. Most people think there's 5 or 6 teams that could come away with the state title. We got Wells 1, I believe it's Yarmouth 2, it might be Cape 2, Yarmouth. And then Greater Gloucester 4 and Freeport at the 8 spot. Certainly teams that things fall right for them. Saunier no good. Sklar the rebound. He'll push the tempo. Comes into the paint. Off for Gabe Wagner, just checked in. Wagner pulls up, takes it, makes it. Gabe Wagner, the sophomore. 5-3 Falcons. Sherburne working against the pressure, gets it over half court. Goes cross court looking for Whitney. Inside again. Cousins though, comes up short. Erickson Shea the rebound. He pushes up the floor, drives right, goes inside, finds Holt. Holt double teamed, comes out of the corner, back on top for Wagner. Wagner resets the offense. Goes for Holt. Holt's got that range to take that shot. Sklar had a chance, kicks out. Thomas has to reload. Cousins watching him, but not staying too close. Holt may think about taking a 3. Both Caleb Barrett and Shea Wagner set to check in for the Falcons. Gabe Wagner comes in again, flicks for Shea. Erickson pulls up, got it! Great sign when he comes out scoring, 7-3. Erickson Shea with 5, Wagner with 2 of Freeport's 7 points. Kicks it back out, Saunier drives, goes for the corner. Whitney, got it. Just inside the 3, that's good for 2, 7-5. They go for Thomas in the corner, brings it back out for Sklar. Toby Holt drives baseline, can't get it to fall, gets his own board. Oh my. Kid that's shooting 63% from the floor has had 3 rattle in and out on him. 0 for 3 to start. Saying the other night, I thought he was up around the 60% from the field. He is. Saunier will take one. Got it. 3 ball. 8-7, Wells. Back on top. The game before, Greater Gloucester blew out Spruce Mountain. In for Holt. Traveling called on Toby Holt. And Thomas and Sklar will sit down as Barrett and Wagner finally get a chance to check in, as we've had a pretty fast moving first quarter here. 8-7, Wells on top. Sherburne going to get a foul called against Erickson Shea, as he tried to ride him up the floor. Only the team's second foul, as so far we haven't had a lot of fouling. 2 fouls each, and that's Erickson Shea's first. Gabe Wagner will take the duties of covering Sherburne. Nice pass inside. Whitney, though, is going to be fouled, and that's Erickson Shea, and that's his second. He'll have to come out of the lineup now, and Ethan Sklar, the senior, back up to come in. So Dylan Whitney, the 6-foot junior, can't get the first to go. Erickson Shea has to sit down with 2 fouls, and he has 5 of Freeport's 7 points so far. Tough blow for the Falcons, and they lose it out of bounds after 2 missed free throws. Falcons playing a little sloppy here so far, not finding their groove, as they've been an outstanding team down the stretch, winning 5 of their last 6. A 3-point loss to Greater Gloucester to close out the season. Whitney will try. He does not have it. Rebound inside as the ball is loose on the floor. And they'll call a jump ball. And the arrow favors Freeport. So Falcons tough possession there, but they come away unscathed as far as points go. And Sklar, the only senior out there. 3 juniors and a sophomore on the floor for the Falcons. Wells fairly young too. Barrett up and under, got it! They need some scoring out of him. Caleb Barrett with a power move, using his long arms and length to complete that. Now looks to finish it off at the foul line. Caleb Barrett been a real pleasure for the Falcons this year. He's come on strong, and he's given Coach Ridge some great minutes. He does not get the roll. And the rebound taken inside by Wang. Number 30, he's into the lineup for the Warriors. Wang has it now on top, goes in for Cousins. Freeport in their matchup zone. Wells with a long skip pass, goes in and out of the hands of Sherburne as he still continues to struggle. Matt Tufts checks in for Wells, and Whitney will sit down. Freeport leading 9-8. Minute 14 to play in the first quarter. Jay Harper along with Natalie Norton. Barrett has range from there. He's out at the NBA 3-point line. Of course, difference here is you got a high school, not sure about that one. Offensive foul on it. Didn't even look like much contact. Sklar draws it. They called it on Barrett, even though it was Sklar. And if they don't change that, that would actually be a benefit for the Falcons. Not that just Sklar plays a lot more minutes. Wang comes off, Saunier fakes. There's a little drive, gets a cheap foul called on Gabe Wagner. We weren't getting many fouls, and now in the last couple of minutes, they're starting to rack up for both clubs, especially Freeport. Barrett comes out on Sherburne. Wells looks like they want to hold for the last shot. We'll see if they do. Looking inside for Cousins, can't get it to him. Freeport showing some good defense. Nice block there. And they'll call that one on Barrett. He had all ball. And the crowd, as you can hear, does not like that call whatsoever. Sherburne has yet to do anything positive for Wells, and he still struggles as he misses his first free throw. Warriors 12-6 on the season, got the #1 seed. They had some big wins over some crossovers. They beat York out of the Class A ranks. One for Sherburne, so it's 9-9. Freeport looking to get the last shot of the quarter here as we're down to 12 seconds to play. Shea Wagner goes back for Sklar. Clock down to 5. They call a blocking foul underneath on Freeport. And now they give Wells enough time. Yeah, they beat Wells and they beat York, and they also beat Greater Gloucester by 2. They lost badly to Yarmouth earlier in the year. And that shot no good. That ends our first quarter play. After one in Portland, we are knotted at 9. Freeport and Wells, the 1 and 8 seed. We're back with the second quarter here in just a moment. Back in Freeport, Jay Harper, Natalie Norton, as we bring you playoff action here on Freeport's Educational Channel 14. The Falcons, the #8 seed, hosting or taking on the #1 seed, Wells. Wells actually hosting here today in their white jerseys. Freeport in their away dark maroon. And a good first quarter play. The Falcons, though, not getting a lot of scoring. Erickson Shea had 5. Gabe Wagner 2, and Caleb Barrett off the bench with 2. But they were able to limit the Warriors inside as well. Cousins, they are calling a lot of ticky-tack fouls all of a sudden, and boy, they're starting to pile up. Falcons got to be careful now. Erickson Shea on the bench because he has 2 fouls. Call that one on Holt, already the 8th team foul on Freeport, so we'll play the entire second quarter at a 1-and-1 bonus situation. Wells has 5 team fouls, still 2 from the bonus for the Falcons. Wagner the rebound, he'll push it, length of the court, pulls up beautifully, won't fall, hangs on the rim and falls off. Freeport's had some very unlucky bounces. A great coast-to-coast drive by the sophomore, Gabe Wagner, but nothing to show for it. Cousins, the big guy, he kicks across. Looks for Tufts, Tufts back for Sherburne. Sherburne with 1 point so far. They'll try Sonia again. He's got that low arcing shot, and that misses badly. Colby Wagner, the rebound, goes up ahead to Nate Thomas. Nate Thomas pulls up, misses the glass. And another little ticky-tack, nothing foul. And back the other way will come the Warriors. Another one of Wells' good wins to give them the 1 seed was their victory over Waynfleet to start the year. They beat Waynfleet 50-47, and I saw Waynfleet play Freeport this year. That looked like the best team I've seen in the South, whether Class B or C. Haven't seen a lot of A or AA games. Missed free throws, so Falcons, no points as Colby Wagner pushes the pace, pulls up. Oh my, how many are gonna hang on the rim and then fall off? Freeport able to keep possession. That is their 3rd basket that was right on the rim and just seemed like it stopped in slow motion and wouldn't fall in. It fell out. Falcons very unlucky so far. Colby Wagner in trouble here, got to get it in. Finds Sklar. Sklar looks, fakes. Shea Wagner thinks about it. Not sure what he saw, but he called traveling on Shea Wagner. This is really some interesting calls we've been seeing here. These officials decided the game was going to be more about them than the players, and that's always a shame. Tournament game, let them play, let the kids decide it. Ticky-tack fouls. And once again, the ball lost out of bounds. This time it's not Sherburne, but an unfortunate roll there for number 15, Matt Willett, who checks in for Troy Brown and the Wells Warriors. Freeport needs to get Holt on the scoring thing. Sklar will try one. Looks long, it is long. Cousins, the long rebound. 10-9, Wells leading, 6:40 to play in the second quarter. They got Cousins, he's got some room in the paint, that's trouble. But he comes up short. Colby Wagner the rebound, he'll push it out again. Sherburne reaches in, no foul called there. And now Wagner will try it, got it! Free ball, bang! Big bucket there for the Freeport Falcons as the crowd loves it. Wells takes the timeout. We'll take a little look inside Freeport's timeout huddle here as they get back on top. 12-10 with 6:17 to play in the second quarter. And Colby Wagner had a couple of good rebounds and pushes. He pushed it up the floor and pulled up at the 3 line. Looked to pass, nobody covered him. Looked to pass, nobody covered him, and he decided to take it. And he buries the 3. And a huge bucket as the Falcons are struggling to find their scoring rhythm without Erickson Shea in the lineup. And Toby Holt off to a slow start so far. He's 0 for 3. Got to keep shooting, though. Toby, a prolific scorer for the Falcons, averaging 15.8 points per game, 26 in the playoff game. He had a game with 35 points this year, and he had another game with 29 points. Just outstanding as Wells comes out of their timeout. They'll bring it up into the front court. Sherburne working with Gabe Wagner on him. The Falcons think about a double team. Long skip pass on the other side. And they kick it back out for Willett. Willett takes. And they're calling a foul. Not sure who they're calling it on. Everyone's looking around and wondering. Another mysterious foul. They call it on Sklar. Everybody was standing there. Nobody was even next to anybody. This guy's ruining the game. 12-10, and Wang will shoot the free throws. And Wells right now helping Freeport's cause by not making the free throws. Erickson Shea is back in the lineup now with 2 fouls, so we'll have to watch him. He's got to be super careful, and hopefully we don't get any more of this ticky-tack foul stuff. Cousins over the back, no call, and Shea Wagner pushes up the floor. He's out there with his brother Gabe and Colby. He loses it. Taken by Sherburne. Gabe Wagner allows that one to go, and Sherburne gets his first bucket of the game. He has 3 points. All 3 Wagners now on the floor. You don't see this very often in any. No. And another travel called where the back foot never moved. He jabbed his front step 2-3 times and never moved the back foot. Ref called the travel nonetheless. 5:37 remaining in the half. Tied at 12. Low scoring affair. Willett comes out. They want Cousins inside. Nice power move. That should be 2. It is. If he can get the ball down in the post that low, it's going to be detrimental to the Falcons. They need to front him and not let the ball down there. Wagner, good job spinning, moving, gets it for Sklar. Colby Wagner looking underneath. And again, a hit there, no foul called there. Freeport's getting all the tic-tacs and nothing on their favor on the other end of the floor. Tufts thought about it, pulls it out for Sherburne. They go for Cousins, nice pass inside, and they're gonna call another foul. So Wells has extended their lead to 4 points and a chance to go to 5 here. As Tyler Bridge goes to the free throw line to try to earn this. Coach Ridge is visibly upset on the sideline, as well he should be. This has been very, very concerning the way this is being officiated. One end of the floor, any little touch of any kind. Some don't even seem to be touches. And on the other end, there's been 2 bangs in a row and nothing called. As Shea Wagner, they're going to call that one at least, as Shea Wagner got pushed to the floor by Willette. But that's only the 6th team foul now, as both teams had 5 fouls about 3 minutes ago. And Freeport's had 6 called on them and only 1 on Wells. And now they call a 5-second violation, as Wagner couldn't find someone to get it into. Freeport struggled twice now with getting the ball in. One time they just barely beat the clock. 17-12. Falcons down 5. 12 points. They're a team that can score. They scored 20 in the first and fourth quarters against Lisbon in the playoffs. Of course, that was at home, friendly confines. A little different here at the Expo with a bigger backdrop. And they've had 3 layups hang on the rim and fall off. Sherburne pulls up, no good. Gabe Wagner, nice rebound, good box out as he'll lead the break. Around the back, goes for Sklar, back from Shea Wagner. Shot is long, Falcons fight for the rebound, nothing there. And they're gonna call blocking foul on Shea Wagner as he stood there. And that will put Wells back at the free throw line for a double bonus 2 free throws. Freeport will call a timeout, try to regroup. Still a lot of time to play here in the first half. They trail 17-12 with 2 free throws coming for Wells, but 3:52 to play in the half. That's a lot of time right now. So Coach Ridge and his troops trying to gather and settle them down. You get a look inside their huddle, and again, such a solid job all year long by Ridge and his staff, Scott Shea and Terry Jewett. And they've been in some tough situations, but they've never folded. And right now they are in a slump for sure. 9-9, they've only scored 3 points here in the second quarter. And they've committed about 9 fouls. Greater Gloucester will take on the winner of this game. Freeport has lost 2 close games to Greater Gloucester. Wells beat them by 2. Again, Gray looking very good in the earlier game as they trounced Spruce Mountain. Gabe Wagner, Toby Holt, Sklar and Thomas, and Erickson Shea out there for Freeport. Another missed free throw for Wells. Their poor free throw shooting has kept Freeport within striking distance still. They've missed a ton. 1 out of 2 for Sherburne. 18-12, the lead is 6. Nice venue here at the Expo. Good seating, a smaller atmosphere so the crowd can be into it. I call a foul. I hope it's on Wells. Wagner pushed off a little bit. That'll be a 1-and-1 now for the Falcons, I think, or maybe not. I thought that was going to be their 17th foul, but apparently not. No 1-and-1 coming. So Freeport inbounds, looking for some offense. Erickson Shea fakes, steps, high arcer, comes up way short, and maybe forced it just a little bit. And the drought continues. Tufts with it. He can take a 3. He made one in their game against Freeport a few weeks ago. Wells now looking to slow things down, or at least they are slowing things down. They go for Bridges up top. Looks inside for Cousins. And again, maybe they're looking to shorten the game or wear them down or try to get Freeport out of their zone. Freeport down only 6, but how patient can they be to stay in this? Long three was up, missing, and they're going to call over the back on Cousins, which is big. So it doesn't work out after all the ball holding. They take a bomb of a three as Willett tried it from long distance, and they get a foul on Cousins. And again, that now is only their 16th foul, still not in the bonus. Holt spins in there, but with Cousins on him, doesn't want to try it. Shea's gonna, nothing there. Long rebound for Sherburne. Falcons have come out cold and gotten themselves in foul trouble, and right now nobody can find the bottom of the drain. Squire goes for the steal, and once again sticking the arm in the passing lane. That's about the 5th time Wells has lost the ball out of bounds off their own hands after, again, the defense has come across the face of the offensive player. Again, this is not pretty. This is not high school basketball at its best. Both teams setting back play a couple of decades here as 18-12 with 2:22 remaining in the first half. And both these teams are certainly teams that can put up a lot of points. The Falcons have put up quite a bit this year as they've been able to score in the 70s on numerous occasions. But today, right now, nothing working for the Falcons. And Erickson Shea hit a couple of big buckets early on, but now he's thrown up 2 air balls, but trying to force it a little bit. Holt has had 3 shots roll out on him, and now he's reluctant to shoot, and he's got to keep shooting and look for his shot. They need to get Holt going. It's been Erickson Shea and Toby Holt most of the season leading the Falcons with points. Freeport inbounds, and that's Gabe Wagner with Caleb Barrett, Nate Thomas, Toby Holt, Erickson Shea out there for the Falcons. Nice move by Wagner. Oh my. Again, I'm not seeing this travel. His back foot was still pivoted. His other foot slid. There's a foot down. This guy has made like 3 traveling calls that just don't seem to be there. He sees a foot slide and he thinks it's traveling. That's why we have a pivot foot. I'm gonna watch these back to check it out. Again, Wells will pull it out. They're trying to get Cousins involved. He's their big guy, 6'3" and got lots of body size. They kick it back. Bridges comes in. No, they're looking on the other side. Tufts was open. They couldn't find him. And again, Wells seems to be okay with slowing it down, and he's going to try it. No good, and tipped up. And here we go again. We got another late foul, but it looks like it's on a offensive rebound well after play, but at least this one goes the Falcons' way. It's only the 7th team foul, and they stopped counting at 10 on the score clock. But I'd be safe to say Freeport's got 13 to 14 team fouls here in the first half. It'll be 1-1 now. Who's going to go to the line? Is it Barrett? Nope, it'll be Nate Thomas. So the senior Nate Thomas trying to contribute here, and Falcons could desperately use a point or two. Have it scored in about 5 minutes. Got it. That's a big free throw, 18-13. And again, as bad as this half was, we could see an entirely different second half if teams can get their grooves going. But boy, has this been a choppy game. Thomas makes them both. 2 big free throws. Freeport goes into their full court zone press, trying to put some pressure. Tufts trying to squeeze through. And again, how do you call that a foul? The guy pushes his head in and then pulls back out, and they call a foul on Holt. And the way the refs are calling this game certainly does not help the way this game is being played and the choppiness of it, and quite frankly, the ugliness of it. Calling it very, very tight. But again, Wells continues to struggle from the free throw line. Tufts makes one of two. Minute 25, 19-14. Wells leads by 5. Erickson Shea, pull-up jumper. Got it. Big bucket. Good to see him get his shot back. And it's 19-16. Back to only a 3-point game. A long pass down. Erickson Shea up, tips it, and steals it. And he'll push the tempo. Fakes. He's got Barrett over here. Doesn't see him. Goes for Thomas. Thomas. Not going to happen. And good rebound inside by Cousins as he boxed out and had 3 Falcons on his backside. Barrett was wide open, but Erickson Shea did not see him on the left side. Instead, he went to the right for Thomas. And Barrett had his feet set, looking to launch. Caleb Barrett, an excellent outside shooter, especially if he's set. Wells up 3, looking to hold for the last shot. We're down to 20 seconds. Erickson Shea almost the steal as he goes for it. Drive in, and they're going to call a blocking foul, and it's going to be on Barrett. So 10 seconds left in the half. The Falcons should have enough time for a shot if they can secure the rebound. Wells continues their drought at the line. They're going either 0 for 2 or 1 for 2 each and every trip, and we know by the amount of fouls called in Freeport here, they've been to the line an awful lot. 1 out of 2 again. 20-16, only a 4-point game. Falcons with a chance to cut into it. Sklar brings it up the floor, trying to get Erickson Shea off a screen. Comes off, drives in. Sklar will take it. Got a nice arcing shot, just long. And a very tough first half of play here in Portland at the Expo as the Falcons head to the locker room trailing 20-16. Number 1 Wells up over number 8 Freeport. You're watching Freeport Tournament Basketball on Freeport's educational channel. We're back here in just a moment. Welcome back to Portland and Tournament Basketball on Freeport's educational channel. Jay Harper along with student Natalie Norton running the camera for us this afternoon. And the first half, a tough one for the Falcons. Lots of fouls, and they are down 4. Not a lot of scoring. 16 points, as I said earlier. They scored 20 in the first quarter and fourth quarter of the game against Lisbon in the prelim. And right now, they're going to need some scoring, and they're going to need some of their big-time scorers to step up. Toby Holt went scoreless in the first half, and that's to be only down 4. To hear that, I guess that's the good news. Wells really helped Freeport by missing a lot of free throws. At best, they were 50%, but I would guess they were probably around 45% for the half. Falcons in a little bit of foul trouble, although Erickson Shea stayed away from his 3rd. They got a bunch of players with 2. Barrett may be the only one with 3 fouls. Freeport comes back with their starting lineup, as does the Wells Warriors. Wells, again, 12-6 on the year, the number 1 seed. Freeport now 11-8 as they won over number 9 Lisbon. And they are, Nate Thomas thinks about it, loses it, goes for Holt. Holt drives, kicks off for Erickson Shea. He pulls up. Shot is long, and the rebound taken down there by Whitney. And Sherburne, who has not played spectacular, but he's certainly much better this time around than he was the last time these two teams met when Freeport won 52-37 down in Wells. They got Cousins down in their triple team. Good hold on the block. Bridges, though, good rebound off the weak side. Cousins drew 3 players, and that left Bridges all by himself for the putback rebound, and it's 22-16. Erickson Shea driving in. Foul on the floor. It's called on Freeport. Who's it on? That's Toby Holt, his 3rd. Not sure how he got that called in there, but he did. And another tough call against the Falcons. And Holt now in foul territory. Got to be careful. He's chasing the ball. They go in for Bridges. He hits again. So not a good start to the second half. Freeport down 8 now as Wells has come out. Hit 2 in a row, both by Bridges. Erickson Shea tees one up. No, and the rebound. Wells, Bridges again with Thomas back. He does a nice Euro, but can't finish. Beautiful move by Bridges, but momentum going the other way, couldn't do it. Wagner pushes up, gets it for Erickson Shea. Back for Wagner, 3 ball. Hard off the backboard, almost went in, but does not. Freeport just can't find any offensive rhythm right now. Sonia thinks about it. Offside Whitney. Whitney, nice step in move, doesn't finish it. But there's Bridges again. Wow. Tyler Bridges, the junior, all of a sudden coming alive as he has 6 points here to start the second half. He has all 6 of Wells' points so far in the quarter. And right now, without Holtz scoring, Freeport really looking only to Erickson Shea for their other scoring, and he's having to force a few shots. And now Wells can be really patient as they, Sonia says, no, I'm not going to be patient. I'm going to tee one up because I got Mr. Bridges underneath. And he's clearing everything off the glass. He now has 8 points in the quarter and a full timeout called by Freeport. And just the exact opposite of what Freeport needed to start this second half is happening, and the Falcons in big, big trouble as they trail now by 12 points, 28-16, an 8-0 run to start the quarter. And Tyler Bridges has all 8, and they've all come off the glass as he's been cleaning up on the boards. And again, Freeport having to pay a lot of attention to Cousins and his size. On the weak side, Bridges, who hasn't done much against Freeport last time or so far in this game, all of a sudden he's become a force in there. And Wells tries the long 3, but there's Bridges for the rebound. Freeport, the one tough thing about a zone defense is that it doesn't give you natural boxing out, where there's always someone right near you that you box out. You have to remember to do that. And again, because there's spacing and you're not right up against players, and that'll allow someone to come in and scarf up a rebound. And that's what Bridges has taken advantage of. He almost had another bucket as he had a great Euro step move that brought him to his left hand and he couldn't finish it. So right now, Freeport in lots of trouble. No points yet here in the third quarter. They went a long drought in the second quarter where they didn't score. The offense that has looked prolific at times this year looks very, very stagnant and stale right now. Gabe Wagner, long pass on top for Shea. For Gabe Wagner. Gabe Wagner will try one. Got it! 3 ball. Falcons desperately needed some scoring, and the sophomore Gabe Wagner comes up with it. 28-19, the lead still 9 by Wells. Whitney thought about it, deflected out of there, and Caleb Salter, who just checked in, and Sklar is picked clean by Sherburne. He goes in for the bucket, and Freeport had an open guy down underneath, and Sklar went to find him. Instead, he found the hands of Sherburne, and he finds the bottom of the basket, and it's now back to an 11-point lead. Toby Holt's got to pull up and take a jumper. He does. Got it. His first points, and maybe that can ignite him. He needs those shots. He's an outstanding shooter, averaging 62% from the floor on the season. That's just phenomenal. And he gets his first bucket after having 3 roll in and out on him to start the contest, and then didn't shoot from then on. Cousins gets it at the wing, the elbow, back out for Saunier. Sherburne finds Bridges again. Bridges gets banged. The ref thought about it for a while and then decided it was going to be the blocking call, not the offensive foul. And Bridges again continuing to wreak havoc in the paint for Wells. But again, they continue to struggle from the line. This game would be probably decided by now if Wells was making 70% of their free throws. One out of two. Freeport definitely needs to find some scoring here. Holt finally hit a shot. Can they find him again? See if he's going to turn it on now here in the second half. They got him there. Comes off the screen, pulls up, fakes. Nah, should have taken it, didn't. Wagner drives in. He gets mugged to the floor. And that'll be a foul. Let's see what they call it on. Cousins was in there. No, they call it on Sherburne. Only his second personal foul. 31-21, Gabe Wagner now with 2 free throws. Misses his first. Caleb Salter into the lineup for Freeport, trying to give his team a spark. Coach Ridge going to the senior who has had some good games for Freeport this year. He's a gritty, tough player. Wagner gets a friendly roll. Not the prettiest free throw, but it's a 9-point game again, 31-22. They go up over the top for Cousins. Cousins looking, he gets stripped. Ball on the floor. Could be a 3-second call, they don't call it. Saunier for Bridges. Cutting is Sherburne. Sherburne pulls up, nothing. Caleb Barrett the rebound. He's guarded by Whitney trying to pick him. Ooh, close pass there. Sherburne almost got to it. They find Barrett. Call a foul on Caleb Salter underneath. Off the ball, and again, that's the second one now, Freeport. Fouls off screens, and again, not able to get the shots in. Tufts will come in for Saunier. Three minutes now to play in the third quarter. Tufts with Holt out there. Freeport's gone to a 1-3-1 zone, trying to get some traps. And of course, Wells looking inside for Cousins. They're trying to find the big guy underneath. Salter's covering him. Salter's all of 5'10", but he's rugged and he can jump. So he draws a tough assignment when he's down there in the bottom of the zone. They find Bridges again. Bridges comes off for Sherburne. Sherburne takes it, won't go in. Rebound. Nice job by Caleb Barrett boxing out, and the foul called on Whitney. Another timeout on the floor. Freeport uses one. They're down 9. We'll take a quick break. Back in a sec. Freeport will have it as they use a timeout to discuss things. Colby Wagner into the lineup for Freeport. Younger brother Gabe out there with him. Holt, Salter, and Erickson Shea. Wagner gets trapped. He has to go way across court. Shea, Erickson, no. Rebound on the baseline, lost out of bounds. They break it fairly easy, 3-on-1. Wagner back. Cousins pushes into him. Good rebound by Colby Wagner as he pushes the pace. Goes for Gabe Wagner. Got it! Big bucket there for the Falcons as they need some offense, and they get it in 3 style. Tufts pushing his way up the floor. He's holding on. He should be a 5-second call here. Nobody's counting. closely guarded for a long time. Tufts again comes in, skips it over for, and that'll be a foul on Gabe Wagner across the hands, and Tyler Bridges will go to the free throw line. 31-25, Falcons just took a huge chunk out of the lead with that three from Wagner. Gabe has been the second most consistent player out there for the Falcons here so far in the scoring department. Erickson Shea and Gabe Wagner providing most of the offense, which hasn't been a whole lot. But we'll see Wells's woes from the free throw line, if those continue to plague them or not. And this has been one of those games where nobody's been able to get a good solid flow, and a lot of fouls called. And again, they continue as Bridges misses the front, or the first, we should say, automatic two. The good news is they're making 1 out of 2, but that's only 50%. But their lead is still 7 points. Skip it across court, go inside to Salter. Salter, nowhere to go, back up for Wagner, off for Holt. Holt's got to tee it up, he does. Comes up short, rebound nicely by Gabe Wagner, goes up, and they're gonna say a hold on the floor. That'll be on Sherburne, his third. Gabe Wagner providing some good spark and aggressive play. Earlier we had all three out there at the same time. All three Wagners, sophomore, junior, and senior. Colby struggling to get it in, gets it out to little brother. Gabe swings for Erickson Shea, quickly guarded. Holt being doubled, skips out on top. Wagner back for Salter. Salter back for Wagner. Doesn't want that shot. Gabe says, I'll take it, brother. Bang! 3-ball! Wagner giving the Falcons a spark. They're back within 4. Skip up for Whitney. They go inside. Bridges to Cousins. Cousins got it. Big bucket. Good answer for the Warriors. Erickson Shea gets tipped from behind. Picked up by Salter. Salter skips for Wagner. Wagner gets called for the travel. Wells will inbound, leading by 6, 34-28, 19.2 to play in the third quarter. Freeport still hanging around. It certainly hasn't been their game, but they're within shooting distance. And again, Wagner, the sophomore, has been the spark here in the third quarter, keeping him in it. As Bridges started, he tries to finish. He throws up a errant hook shot, and Gabe Wagner collects and chucks it the length of the floor. Not close, but we started the quarter down 4. The lead got all the way to 12. It's back to 6, so Freeport certainly not out of this one just yet. Wells getting a huge third quarter from Tyler Bridges, as he had 8 points all inside the paint, and then Cousins chipping in with a couple. But Gabe Wagner, the story for the Falcons, with 2 big threes in the third and a free throw. So the Falcons able to get 12 points in that quarter. It was 20-16. They got outscored 14-12 in the quarter. Very low scoring affair for these two teams. You look at some of Freeport's games this year. They scored 72 against Morse, 67 against Mount Ararat, 83 against Poland, 81 against Lincoln, 73 against Trape. And the first game of the year, they lost 67-64 against Greater Gloucester. Scored 57 Lake Region, 52 against Wells, as we said, in that 52-37 win. And that was just a couple weeks ago. But today, the offense has struggled. Wells will get the ball to start the fourth quarter, and the crowds from each respective school try to get their players pumped up here and ready for the fourth. 6-point game as we head into the fourth. Freeport in the zone defense and trying to bring some pressure out. Tufts drives, kicks on the corner for Bridges. Bridges throw, Toby Holt with a steal. He gets chased in by Sherburne, but Holt with a second bucket. And Falcons back within 4. Ooh, looked like he got away with a walk there. Whitney took off before he put it on the floor. Whitney look inside Cousins. Cousins double team for Bridges. Bridges, nice little floater. Again, the Twin Towers of sorts. I mean, they're not that big, but compared to Freeport, they seem like it. 6'3" and 6'4", and they're working nicely as a tandem, and they've provided most of the scoring for the Warriors. The first time around, they scored, but not a ton, and Freeport was able to really neutralize them inside. Salter thinks about driving in, does. Ooh, got away with a walk maybe. Wagner goes baseline, goes for Holt. Holt's got 2 more. A great sign. Toby Holt heating up. 36-32. Wells has handled this press. Oh, late call, but they make the call. Coach Troy Brown for Wells jumps up, stomps his feet. Not happy with that. Sklar comes back in, as does Thomas. So it'll be Sklar, Erickson, Shea, Toby Holt, and Gabe Wagner out there for the Falcons. As they trail by 4, this could put them closer than they've been in a long, long time. Inside for Wagner. Wagner kicks around for Erickson Shea. Drives in, slices in, got it. No foul called. He wanted a foul. Who called the timeout? Not sure. Somebody called the timeout. And the Falcons within 2, 36-34, 6:31. It's taken a long time, but the Falcons are starting to find their groove. And again, one of the guys you got to give some credit to, hasn't done a lot of things, but his presence out there, the senior Caleb Salter, he's been in there, and he was in one other game where they made their big run. His presence, he's tough, gritty, and if he doesn't commit a turnover, he does a great job out there for the Falcons, just giving them a little bit of everything. But now they're starting to find Holt, and of course Gabe Wagner sparked him in the third to get him going. And you know, if it's not for the play of Bridges and his real smart and good offensive rebounding here in the second half, this game could be a lot different. But also, if Wells would make their free throws, this could be a lot different as well. But we got the crowd back into it finally. Freeport staying in their full court press. It hasn't caused as much problem to Wells this time around as it did a few weeks ago. But Freeport hoping to up tempo and get Wells in a little tight situation now that the gap is closed. This game is close. They're able to break it. Whitney goes in for Cousins. Cousins back for Bridges. Bridges doesn't go down. Falcons with the ball, a chance to tie. Sklar goes up for Holt. Holt goes to the base, goes inside. Nice pass for Thomas. Hook shot, got it. The senior has tied it. Nice pass from Toby Holt. 6 minutes to go, 36 apiece. They break the pressure again. They go to Bridges. Freeport settles into their zone. Now they don't have to chase too much. Bridges with it on the high post. Goes back out for Whitney. Sherburne looking to penetrate. Comes up, tipped, almost lost it. Gets it for Bridges, who comes way out on top. Sherburne, Saunier's going to try one. He's locked in. No good. Loose ball rebound. And they're going to call a foul on Cousins. An amazing turnaround here in the last few minutes. Only the second on Cousins, but a big foul nonetheless. Falcons with the ball, chance to take the lead. Be their first lead since early in the first quarter. Inside Holt on a give and go. Got it! Erickson Shea, Toby Holt. The dynamic juniors working together. And another timeout. And this time Wells uses it, and they call a full. 38-36, Freeport by 2. 5:12 to play in the fourth quarter. Wow, still a lot of basketball to be played. It's hard to believe, but both teams starting to pick up the pace on offense, especially Freeport, and now Wells is feeling the pressure as the Falcons have stormed back from 12 points down in that third quarter to now lead 38-36. And again, foul problems have not come to full fruition yet, although it looked early on that teams were going to be in a lot of foul trouble, and Holt does have 3. Barrett has 3 for Freeport. Pretty sure Erickson Shea is still with just 2. He picked up 2 early in the second quarter and had to sit for a while. The Freeport crowd, if you get a look at them, they are really getting into this now. They are feeling it. They're off to our right there as we come back to play. Again, the full court pressure. Gabe Wagner covering Sherburne. The lob pass, almost tipped by Holt. He had a chance. There's Gabe Wagner with a steal. 3-on-3 break. Wagner pulls back, goes out for Sklar. They find Thomas. Thomas goes baseline, loses his footing. It's tipped up. Freeport has it. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Saunier. And Freeport will keep possession. Ooh. Nate Thomas drove baseline but lost his footing as he went to shoot. And luckily, he threw it up in the air and it was tipped out. It's the 5th team foul on Wells, 4 on Freeport. Freeport again struggles to get that ball in. Ooh, just beating the clock. Erickson Shea will try one, tough angle. Gabe Wagner's there for the rebound. And the putback, no, falls off. Rebound Cousins. He gets it for Sherburne. Sherburne trying to draw that foul. Oh my. Again, this happened a lot in the Lisbon game. It's one of those things where it didn't disrupt play at all. There was a teeny bit of contact, but Erickson Shea went flying. But they call it on Erickson Shea. I believe that's his 3rd now, and the team's 5th. So both teams with 5 fouls. And Wells maybe not want to get into the bonus because they've struggled so much from the free throw line. They go in for Cousins, double team. He gets up, makes it. And they call a late foul, and it's going to be on Wagner. Very, very late foul. The ball went in, and then the whistle went off. I don't know if Wagner was trying to box out, got fouled, called on the box out. 38-all, 4:21 to play, and now Wells retakes the lead. 3-point play for Cousins. Thomas trying to kick it out. And almost saved over there by Sherburne. Can't quite do so. It'll stay with Freeport. Tufts comes in for Saunier. Again, struggling to get it in. They find Holt. Holt should just pull up and take that. Oh, love to see him. Stay with his shot. They're giving you that outside shot. Gabe Wagner drives, floats, got it. Wow, that's a big shot. Freeport back up by 1, 40-39. Freeport falls back. Wells just barely beats the 10-second timeline. Crowd nervous, not really loud right now. Tufts goes inside, Cousins all alone again. If he gets the ball down there, you might as well just give him 2. And that's what Wagner had to do. He can't afford a foul either. So Wells back 1. Erickson Shea with a good fake. They're going to call that travel again. Timeout Freeport. Both teams using their full allotment here. Let's get a look in at the scoreboard here. The Falcons trail 41-40, 3:20 left in the fourth quarter. And again, regulation, we have to start thinking about that. Could be heading for overtime. My goodness. Well, it hasn't been the prettiest game. but it's certainly now turning into one of the more exciting games. The 1 and 8 seed, as we said, Class B South, very, very balanced. Wells the 1, Cape 2, Yarmouth 3, Spruce 4, Gray 5, MC and Mountain Valley 7, Freeport 8. And we got the 8-1 right now, waging war, a 1-point game with under 3.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Almost stolen there, and good move by Bridges as the big guy uses his dribbling skills to get it back to Sherburne. I'm gonna call the foul. Let's see who it's on. Both players are, neither one could use a foul. It's 1 and 1 though. Here's will be the telltale. Can they make the front ends? It is on Erickson Shea, and that's his 4th. So big one there. Sherburne makes it when it counts the most. (42-40). Ooh. And again, that's huge. First 2 free throws made for Wells, I think, all night. And it couldn't have come at a more significant time for the Warriors. They lead by 3. Falcons, Erickson Shea, no good. Rebound, Tyler Bridges. And now with the 3-point lead, they can milk the clock. And they weren't afraid to milk it in the first. Freeport has gone to a man-to-man. And now Sherburne working on Gabe Wagner. Again, the ref should be counting the time when they're closely guarded. Oh, we got a count there. Saw one official on the other side. Wells being really patient now. Erickson Shea's got to be really careful. He has 4 personals. They need him down the stretch. He is their offense most nights. Tonight he started with their offense and then struggled, but started to find his range. If you need a kid to hit a big bucket for you, I would pick him a lot of the times. Sherburne going to go for the paint. He's going to get a foul called and the bucket. And it's going to be on Erickson Shea. And again, that's a tough thing when you fall behind. You have to switch to the man-to-man, and Freeport has not played a lot of man this year. They've, especially down the stretch, they've stayed with that matchup zone defense, and it's been very effective for them. But now trailing, you can't sit in a zone. You got to get out and chase. And this is a big little Wells run right here as they have scored 6 straight points after trailing 40-39. And Sherburne made 2 free throws last time. He's trying to get a 3-point play here this time, and he does. He's starting to find his range, and again, Coach Ridge knew that if he played and didn't get in foul trouble, it'd be a different game. He's starting to be a difference maker. Ethan Sklar needs to find his offense. Gabe Wagner tries a long 3, no good. Rebound though, taken down by Thomas. Thomas ball tip, Gabe Wagner gets it, lays up, in, and another quick timeout. Freeport, minute 44, 46-42. Falcons defense has to step up here. And if they're gonna foul someone, let's foul someone other than Matt Sherburne. Crazy, crazy. Well, irregardless of the outcome of this one, you just got to congratulate Coach Ridge and the team and the players and the staff. And Freeport has had a real great resurgence in the boys program. Last couple of years coming on strong, and they bring back a strong group of juniors and a couple of good sophomores for next year as well. They'll miss a few of their seniors like Sklar, Thomas, and Colby Wagner and Salter, but boy, they bring a good group back next year. And the girls program having a tremendous year. They'll play on Tuesday right here at the Expo, and they will also play Wells. The difference in that one, Freeport will be the host team. They're the 3 seed. Wells Lady Warriors are their 6 seed. But ironic, both teams playing each other. And minute 44, still a ton of time here, but basketball definitely has come back to Freeport. The girls have been good for 3 or 4 years now and reaching their highest tournament seed here in a generation pretty much. And hopefully the Lady Falcons can keep things alive, and hopefully the boys can do the same here as they're down 4 with a minute 40 Gabe Wagner trying to cover Sherburne. Sherburne, the junior, and they go up for Cousins. Cousins on top, looking inside. Whitney was open. They got to watch their, again, very patient here, and they should be. They have the lead, the ball, and the clock on their side. They don't have to shoot. They can wait for a foul, and again, the Falcons might look to foul Whitney or Bridges. Bridges has really struggled from the line today. Sherburne has now made 3 straight free throws. The Falcons got to think about fouling, and they get a reach in there as he tried to tip it away. It'll be Cousins going to the line. Bridges has struggled the most from the line that I've noticed here today. That's in the lineup for Wells. He might have been the guy to foul, but these are big, big free throws here for Fernand. Got it. Very calm, very poised. Cameron Cousins. He's a senior, 6'4", and he's been a difference maker tonight. He made them both. Falcons got to push, hit a 3. They can make it a 1-possession game. Squire goes into Toby Holt. Holt, a little foul from behind. I'm not sure Wells liked that call. That was a tough one. Certainly looked like he had a lot of ball there. Falcons moving the tempo in a hurry. Holt will shoot 2. He can get him back within 4, but I have to think the Falcons were hoping for a 3 to get it within a possession. They're going to have to do some work, and Holt, who's been shooting it at 72% from the free throw line, misses the first. One out of 2. It's a 5-point game, 56 seconds. The Falcons got to do something. Loses it, and a late call. The referee gives Gabe Wagner a long look. Again, looked like he got the ball. So Sherburne back, and it's an automatic 2 because that's already the 10th. Freeport racked up a bunch at the end. They had done well early on in this half, not getting in foul trouble, but boy, they've racked up 6 fouls here in the last 3 minutes. And now double bonus as Sherburne misses the first, makes the second. 50 seconds, Falcons down 6. Still could do it if a 3, they need a 3. Wagner loses control. And they're going to call it travel. Gratuitous call there for the Falcons. Again, I'm not sure what Freeport's trying to do here, pound the paint, unless they're trying to drive in and then kick it back out. But 42 seconds, I mean, yes, maybe enough time, but not really. They need, it looked like Wagner got hit there, the ball up, loose. And they're going to call a holding foul on Freeport, and that might just about do it. So Cameron Cousins back at the line with 2 free throws. 36 seconds, not completely over, but if he makes both these, it's going to be very, very difficult. Again, can't wait when I get to check the free throw shooting percentage of Wells today, because they have really had their issues at the foul line, and that's a big reason why Freeport was able to stay in this game. 1 out of 2, 7-point game, so in theory a 3-possession game. Going to be tough for the Falcons. They got to hit a 3 and get a steal, and they can't take a lot of time doing it. Holt fakes, using way too much time. And reach from behind and a foul from behind on Sherburne. 20 seconds left though. Freeport, they just needed to come down and dribble up to line, plant their feet, and take it. And it's a 1-on-1 situation here for Wagner, so these are big. And that's long. So the free throws took a friendly bounce and ended up going in, but they called a lane violation on Freeport. So Falcons now. Tufts holds on tight, gets a foul, so it's now a formality. It looks like it'll be number 1 Wells taking on number 5 Greater Gloucester. And again, a 2-point game earlier in the year. That game is, I watched Greater Gloucester 3 times here this year, and they're a strong club. Either team could win that for sure. Freeport certainly felt like they could win today, but didn't have their A game when it mattered most. Tufts makes the first. It's now 51-43. Heath Coburn checks in, the sophomore replacing Sklar, the senior. Just played in his last game. He's had a great 4-year career. Ethan Sklar, if you remember, started for this team as a freshman. Been the starting guard now for 4 seasons, and he went through a lot of losing before he got to some winning. Second playoff game with a prelim, and this. Tough way to end it. Wagner, nice drive in, can't get it to go. Holt puts it back up and in. 8 seconds left. Freeport scrapping, and they'll call a foul inside on Caleb Barrett. That'll put Sherburne back at the line. 52-45 as some of the crowd starts to file out. We got Class A playing here this evening. This is the last game of Class B South. I didn't get the scores of the earlier games for Cape and Yarmouth, but you would be hard pressed to tell me that those 2 teams didn't win their games. Sherburne rattles out. Sully Smith will check in, as will Shea Wagner. Colby Wagner, the senior, will sit down. His final moments for the Falcons. 2 more Wagners still on the roster, coming back next year. And again, Sherburne misses them both. Alex Healy, the freshman, fires up for Gabe Wagner. Wagner's going to launch at the buzzer. And it's no good. Final score, Freeport 45, Wells 52. And great effort here by the Falcons, but unfortunately, offense wasn't there. They got in a lot of foul trouble. Game was called tight, and that certainly didn't help their cause as the fans and the players start to congratulate one another, and we'll check them as they shake hands. Second time meeting a little bit different. Freeport had 52-37 victory. This one goes to Wells 52-45, and they will move on to the Cumberland County Civic Center and play this coming Thursday. Freeport, brilliant season for them. Congratulations, Coach Ridge and his staff, Scott Shea, Terry Jewett, even myself. I coached the boys freshmen, but the players and the seniors especially. Caleb Salter, Colby Wagner, Nate Thomas, and Ethan Sklar, thanks for your service and hard work. As coach, they pick up their pamphlets and head out. AD Craig Sickles shaking the hands of the players as they come off. Tough one here. Good afternoon for Wells, and best of luck to them in the next round. For my camera woman, Natalie Norton, thank you so much for this afternoon. Did a great job, and we'll be back here on Tuesday for the girls game. Wonder if we'll get the same warm welcome. All right. For my partner, I'm Jay Harper saying so long from Portland. Once again, the final score, Wells 52, Freeport 45.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?